Alright, we're going to go over a couple odds and ends here. I've talked about some of this stuff before, but I think it needs to be reiterated and expanded upon. And I think probably the most important thing as a spearman is that you control the battle. You know, people are extremely intimidated by you. And so you can really control the flow of the battle as much as you want. And you know, maybe as your first day out there, you're probably not going to control the flow of battle. But once people know you're a good spear fighter, it is very intimidating, and you know, people aren't going to want to engage you. And I see this even in some of the best shield fighters in our realm. They will just straight out go to the other side of me or something, or you know, fight where I'm not. So one of the things you got to think about, and I've talked about this before, is you know, sometimes it's fun to fight, you know, where your line's doing really good, but that's probably where you're not needed. You're going to be needed where your line's doing really bad. The part where your line is crumbling is where you need to be. So as a spear fighter, you need to be, you know, kind of surveying your entire line and finding its weakest point, or the point where there's the most amount of red fighters. And that's where you need to insert yourself. And you know, if you're waiting for reinforcements, you know, be real aggressive, get in people's face and push them back. And you know, if you don't need, you know, to wait for more reinforcements to come, then you can take your time and, you know, throw planned shots and actually get a lot of kills. But you know, just being intimidating, you can slow down the enemy advance all by yourself, and you know, give your team time to, you know, crush a flank, or for, you know, your res point to clear and your line to build back up. Another thing that's really important, and this helps a lot when you're trying to intimidate people, is to mislead the length of your spear. And if Solusar, if you want to stand like up here, like no, come up here, like right in the middle of you. Okay, sorry. Okay, so yeah,
my bad.
Okay, turn 90 degrees. There you go. Okay, if Solusar and I are fighting like this, and I have my spear all the way out here, you know, the guy out there knows exactly how long my spear is. But if I fight with my spear like this, he doesn't know if I've got a 4-foot, a 6-foot, an 8-foot, or a 10-foot spear. And so, you know, if I just hold back and I don't throw many shots, I just wait for somebody to make a mistake, and then all of a sudden I throw out my 8-foot spear, and I can hit a guy, you know, 9 to 10 feet away from me, you know, and they're only seeing the, you know, first 2 or 3 feet of my spear, especially if the shield line goes on, and that's a very effective way to fake people out.
Same with holding it real low to the ground.
Yeah, and you know, yeah, if you want to duck under the shield wall too, it's really good. I think it's kind of dangerous. I've been injured before doing that at Ragnarok, but
it's still very effective.
Yeah, I got a ton of kills, and then I got trampled and I hurt my leg. So I mean, it's all as, you know, safe as you want to be. So and then another thing too is if you want to drop your shield real quick, and you know, if Solusar is trying to grab my spear, which happens all the time at Ragnarok, you know, and I see him going for it. So what I can do is I can come in, and then right when he's about to grab it, I can pull back, and then I'm going to hit him real hard. You know, and the idea is to like make him miss the grab and then come in and then hit him in the stomach as hard as I can. And I am not a big fan of people grabbing my spear at Ragnarok. I've had my cover ripped before, and you know, I don't mind hitting somebody extremely hard. Those are the people I will put all my force into to hit, just because I really don't like that. And I think a lot of people at Ragnarok do a bad job. And for those non-spear fighters watching, this is not grabbing the spear correctly. This is grabbing the spear correctly to take it from somebody.
If you grab the head, you lose your hand.
Yeah. This is a blade, this is a shaft. This is a cover and a tip that can be easily broken. This is a solid fiberglass shaft that's not going to break. And some advice to spear fighters too at Ragnarok, you know, more so than shield fighters, if your main weapon breaks at Ragnarok, you're in a lot of trouble, because chances are you don't have a backup spear that's worth fighting with. So generally, if somebody has my spear at Ragnarok, I just let it go. I'll walk myself off the bridge, come back around their line and pick it up, because it's not worth having my spear broken for the day or the whole entire week. And you know, sometimes it's worth it to try to pull the guy in, but I think most of the time it's just let your spear go. You can call yourself dead, walk back around, and pick up your spear. So it's about that. Alright, well, there was one thing I wanted to go over that a couple people brought up, and on my first video I talked about how always to have your sidearm in your hand. There's of course exceptions to that rule. When you're at Ragnarok, a lot of times the fighting's too close, and when you have your sidearm sticking out over here, it'll get caught on shieldmen as you go. So at Ragnarok, for a lot of the main battles, I don't even carry my sidearm, but before the main battles and after the main battles I use my sidearm. And I haven't tried this before, but I think this Ragnarok I'm going to try tethering it to my wrist, with a short rope. So I can always have it there if I need it, but usually you don't need it. So when I say always have your weapon on you, I'm really meaning like smaller realm battles or smaller events. We're not going to have really densely packed shield fighters. Alright, now we're going to go over the basics of fighting spear versus spear. You know, this is going to be one-on-one without shield fighters, so you kind of have to take what we're going to say here and apply it to the shield line, but it's still the same principles. We're going to go over me fighting with a longer spear and Solusar fighting with a shorter spear. This is a 10 foot, he has an 8 foot. His 8 foot is much stiffer than mine. I mean, this one's got a lot of flex, so my strategy here is I have 2 feet of distance on him. So I'm going to try to go for a shot real quick before he can get in on his distance. So, and the idea is any essentially upper body shot is going to be a kill shot. Because if he loses an arm, he's not going to kill me. You know, if I hit him in the torso, he's dead. If I hit him in the leg, he still has a chance of killing me, but it's pretty slim. So really, you want to go quick and get a shot in. And the only other thing I have to worry about is his spear's a lot stiffer than mine, so he can parry mine and hold it down. So I might have to do like a quick feint in, pull back, and then hit him. But the idea is to hit quickly, hit fast, and take something from him. Because once you have him down a limb or dead, you know, game over. So we're going to do a quick little demo here, illustrating these points. Yeah, I don't know if the camera can see it. Why don't you move towards me? Alright, so tap spears. Good shot, get my
Two beautiful shots.
And then another simple trick there too is, in that situation, I would always fight overhand because it's more defensive. There's not really an advantage to fighting underhand when you're fighting another spear fighter. So when you're overhand, it's real easy to parry his first shot if you don't get yours in before he does. Now if we switch this around, trade spears, the tactic's going to be the exact opposite. I'm going to try to let Solusar throw the first shot. I'm going to try to parry it and either pin his spear or get inside into my kill distance to try to hit him. That's the basics of it. You can apply all these same principles fighting in the shield line. You're just going to have to adapt them a little bit. That's the end of Spear Fighting 106. I hope you enjoyed it. Yep, that's probably going to be it for a while until maybe Ragnarok.